In my segment here, I'm going to review Pepsi. I'm looking at a long side bias within a 4 to 6 week-ish outlook period, so the intermediate time frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to step through how the askSlim methodology can answer those key core trade planning questions that we talk about all the time. Those include what's my outlook period, what's my directional bias, what are the key levels, projections, and including reevaluation levels that suggest that I need to reevaluate my overall analysis or take some of that trade off or exit it completely. And then once you've done that analysis and you've come to your some of the evidence, does it show you that you have a clear and tradable edge? Once you have your edge, then you want to be able to determine what your signals are going to be so that that trade setup is a go, and you have no hesitation or reservation. Your money management rules are in place, and you execute. Okay, so let's look at Pepsi here. What I'm looking at here is I'm focused on this current cycle that we have, and in this current cycle, we have a nice rising phase that has started. And this rising phase is really important because we're only in the third week of this rising phase, and some important levels have been taken out, and therefore there's been some repair that's happened. And you'll see this more clearly on the daily chart. So we're in this new rising phase. We've pushed through that 78.6 here, the 78.6 fib, which is a key number for us in terms of this rising phase, suggesting that there is a warning of this cycle, this new cycle, shifting to a bullish or positive cycle structure here. And since we are in this early rising phase, that should give us a good amount of time for Pepsi to make another move on the upside. Now I'm going to drill down here into the daily chart as well to see if it's supporting the overall bullish positive thesis. And as we can see here, I'm again looking at this new cycle that started. Although it started with a negatively configured cycle, it quickly has gained traction on the upside and repaired that technical damage that was done, converting this negative cycle structure into now warning of a positive cycle structure. Now we have a little bit more room on the upside it needs to go to really break out above that prior cycle peak, which would confirm that we have a positive cycle structure and that this prior low here that we saw on the weekly is very important, likely setting into motion a multi-month move to the upside. So in terms of, again, the look on the daily that's supporting the overall bullish or positive thesis, we have that repair that has been done through that 78.6. We have bullish momentum, positive momentum, both on the reversal scout and our slim ribbon. Now, what does that mean? That means that what I'm looking for in terms of projection over this intermediate time frame is for it to get up in through this major 50% fib that comes off of this 196.88 all-time high here in Pepsi. And that is the retracement that we would see. So if I do this draw here, if the system can hold up right around here, you'll see there's some key levels that pop up for me. So we have a 50% fib here, which it tried to get to in this prior cycle and then was rejected. That formed that cycle peak. And I'm looking to see it get through there and then up into this projection zone number 1, which is, I'm now going to use the fib extension tool since I have 3 anchor points from our swing low, swing high analysis here. I'm using this key swing low here. Then we have our cycle peak here. And then we also have the new cycle low here. And that projection, first we have a 61.8, but I think we'll get through that based on the overall positive cycle structure, warnings that we have, the time that we have still in the intermediate cycle that we have, and get us into this projection zone number 1, which is 176.40 to about 178.40. And then if it really can clear this prior cycle peak, then I think it has enough overall positive energy to get it up near that 181, which would be near that the 61.8 of the major retracement that we had here. And then also there's a confluence with 100% fib extension from this swing low, swing high, swing low analysis that was done. So that's the overall perspective on Pepsi.
Interesting, Matt, on that analysis that you showed of Pepsi. You know, there's we've been through a period where all that money is pouring into tech and AI, and normally what happens is that when they get overvalued, the money starts to come out of those, and then it'll start looking for value. And I think you highlighted here in Pepsi that the money is already starting to do that because it's a super bullish pattern on Pepsi for the intermediate term. And that's really about rotation or money flows changing around. That's really great. It shows the great value of the work that we do as things just all of a sudden start to show themselves as to where the money's about to start moving to.